Sure. Yep, I had 3 phones. I took somebody's. Hey, my phone is mine.
You do a pledge of allegiance, please.
I
Pledge
United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Jim, please.
Please join in prayer or meditation as I say, bless this food to our use and us to thy service. Amen.
Amen. Jim, got some songs in us?
Well, Bill Payne, we're gonna do your favorite song today, right?
I didn't say it was my favorite.
Frosty the Snowman, page 25, right? I thought it was when I tried to smile. What page?
25.
Here.
So, with all the pipe and windows and flies made out of snow, Frosty Snowman is a very terribly sick. He's ready to snow, but the children know how he came to life one day. There must have been some magic found, for they placed it on his around. Oh, Frosty the Snowman was alive as he could be. And to the great say he could laugh and play just the same as you and me.
You want to do another one? I just have a couple of quick announcements. First thing is, we've been asked by schools that we finish here by 1 o'clock because they have another group coming in or two. We need to- no lingering, no loitering, get your asses out. Here, translation didn't come through right. If you have not signed up for the Christmas dinner for us, which is next Monday over at the coffee house, you must let me know by the close of business today. So I've heard just about from everybody I can see in this room, but there are like 2 of you or 3 of you that I've not heard from. I'm going to be bugging you here in a few minutes to find out if you're coming or if it's a no. And I need to know your menu choices or else I'm going to pick for you. Oh, but if you are bringing a guest, the cost for the guest is $48. For you as a Rotarian, we are absorbing that cost as part of your dues. You pay for your own beverages though, so if you're going to get snockered, bring your wallet with you, please. And I'm going to announce, because Paul has offered and I accepted it, Paul is going to give us some pre-dinner entertainment next Monday evening as well with some.
Well, that's a sing-along.
By the music, and he'd like us to sing the Christmas carols.
The words.
Oh, and the words too, so we don't even have to make it up as we go. So we get to get totally into the festive spirit with some Christmas music from one of our Rotarians, and we will accompany him. How's that? So we appreciate the offer of that, Paul. It should be a great event. Just a couple of reminders. If you signed up to ring the bell, please show up to your shift. I know mine is upcoming, I think this weekend, so I'll be there. And Libby and Bill done a great job getting all of the shifts filled, for our. It was fantastic. We appreciate it. And with that said, we're also letting the District 7600 know that we're participating in the Salvation Army bell ringing campaign. And so we are entering into their competition of other Rotarian clubs that do this as well. So hopefully we're going to win this year, that we collect more than any other club in District 7600 for through the cattle program. So we thank Libby for leading the charge, and apparently Bill's just tagging along for the glory. So there it is. Other announcements, if you haven't gotten in your crab cake money, please do so to Paul so that we can start to wrap up where we are in the crab cake sales and hopefully close that out by the end of the year. Have I missed anything else as announcements? I throw it out.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, the Route 184 cleanup. Thank you.
9 o'clock.
9 a.m. and they meet over at the former Meatland / now the Custom Carts parking lot. And that's where they start their disbursements into teams and get out to clean up the road on 184 coming in. So if you didn't let anybody know, please let me know or send an email over to Karen Jolly or call her and let her know that you're going to be attending as well.
Real quick, I checked the weather forecast. It looks fairly well for Saturday.
Very good.
I have one more question, announcement. There were, some of you didn't get invoices yet for this quarter. But we have to send in a check to Rotary Foundation before the end of December. And we want everybody that will give the $25 a quarter to the Rotary Foundation, which you usually get on your invoice, to get credit for that in the money we send to the Rotary Foundation. So if you haven't gotten an invoice and you know you haven't paid your $25 to the Rotary Foundation yet this year, we encourage you to at least send that in.
Bill.
Tonight, 7 o'clock, Northampton High School, the choir that entertained us last week. The full choir will entertain us if you go to the high school tonight at 7 o'clock. I'll be there. If anybody needs a ride, I'll give them a ride.
Is there any special instructions where they should get in to park and where they're going on the construction campus?
That place is a nightmare.
Say that again?
One way to get in, one door.
Okay. So you're
Try
going.
to find your way.
Okay. Anybody else with announcements?
I've got an announcement. We've been asked if we can help with two activities for Festive Friday this week. One is to make a cider, and I offered to handle that. I think I can handle 4 gallons. I'm not sure I can handle both. Would anybody like to make one of the containers of cider? And all the hands ready. Okay, I'll figure it out.
Bourbon?
No, it's just the cider. They add the bourbon there.
Heating up cider, adding some spices to it. And then
Yep.
Rick?
Okay, great, thank you. And then the other is they are looking for someone to cover the parking lot from 5 to 6 p.m.
It's a service project, people. So.
And that's a light one. There's nothing happening inside.
Sounds like no takers so far, Libby, but
Okay,
continue to rattle the trees for you.
all right. Send it over.
Okay.
Okay,
Do
thanks.
I have any happy dollars? Bill?
I have 2 sets of $1,000. First one is, last Friday, Diane and I went to the Tides Inn and celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary. $50 for each year. The second one is we now have a second member of the club that is a major donor.
Oh, you weren't.
Bill Payne. That means that he's given to the foundation $10,000.
Awesome.
Good evening. The only, I have one request. Don't tell Jack.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, 2010, I went in for a biopsy, and on my birthday, January 7th of 2011, I was told I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So I fought that for a year, and by December of that year, I finally started feeling better, and a couple months later, I bought a bike. So in 2012, I started riding that bike, and I jokingly made a promise to myself to do 100,000 miles, never thinking that could ever be possible. But this past Saturday, I went past 90,000 lifetime miles.
You want me $90?
So yes, I will do $90. Oh, all right. And I got 10 more thousand miles to hit that 100,000 mile mark, so I'm saving my money for that one.
Any other happy dollars? It's been a banner day for this club and great milestones personally for both Chuck and Bill and Diane. That's fabulous. So, we got Queen of Hearts and candy to hand out, but I'm gonna turn the program over to Chris Isdell from VDOT to talk to us today about all things road related. Hopefully not road rage at all, but all the great things happening in our district. Chris?
Katie, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. For those of y'all to start with, appreciate the invite. I always like to come out and talk to the local community, give them an update of what your local VDOT is doing. So, I'm at that age, I gotta remove my glasses. Sorry about that. So VDOT, just a quick overview of what we are and see VDOT and we think statewide. Well, I like to look at it more concentrated to the eastern shore, the two counties over here. Because that's where we put our efforts here locally, making sure that things come to the eastern shore, we get funding, we get projects, and we do what we can do to maintain what we have. So we're part of the Hampton Roads District. There's 9 districts in the state, and we're the Hampton Roads District, and we're the largest as far as complexity of all the districts in the state. So, but within a district, you have residencies, and that's what we're known as here on the Eastern Shore is a residency. We're the Accomack residency because we are located in the town of Accomack, not that we're in Accomack County. So we're one of 3. And within our residency, we have 3 maintenance area headquarters. Those are the people you see mostly out on the roadway. You won't see us a whole lot. We hide behind our doors, behind our computer screens, and make life miserable for some people sometimes. But these are the people that you see out all the time. We have 1 located in Northampton County. I'll speak more specifically to Northampton County in this meeting. So with that, we look across our entire footprint of VDOT on the Eastern Shore, which is both counties, Accomack and Northampton. We have 75 state employees in our department here on the shore. And we cover everything from maintenance to administration, to construction, to equipment repair, traffic signal division. So we got a bunch of different other, sections wrapped up into one VDOT, but there's 75 of us here on the Eastern Shore. So of those, 42 of those are maintenance operators, people that you see out on the road doing the work. The others are spread among all those other groups that I spoke about. So down in Northampton, you have a total of 13 operators for this entire county. It's not a lot of people, when you think about what the asset footprint of Northampton County is like. So when we look at the entire Eastern Shore, you have 2,072 lane miles that VDOT is responsible for maintaining. And that's right-of-way edge to right-of-way edge, just not the roadway or ditches. That's everything that's within those too. So if you break it down at 2,072 lane miles, imagine this, I'm a visual kind of guy. So it's 2,072 miles. We are responsible here on the Eastern Shore with those 42 operators to maintain a 2-lane roadway from my office in Accomack all the way to Miami, Florida. That just gives you a perspective of how much there is to maintain, how long it is. It's a lot of roadways for a rural area here on the field. I've got a lot of long roadways, go down these necks and everything. You think of Seaside Road, Route 13, stuff such as that. So that's a lot. What it breaks down to is that in Northampton County, there's 656 lane miles in this county alone. So it's a lot out there. But so each operator that we have on the Eastern Shore, they each have to maintain 49 lane miles per employee. So when we don't get out there right away to get something that needs to be done, that's not urgent, that's the reason why they've got 48 other lane miles that they're trying to take care of. And that's everything that happens. So not only do we do normal maintenance activities like, patching potholes or digging ditches or cutting grass, they're also going out and they're doing emergency responses routinely. 911 center is calling us to go out and help first responders with wrecks. We provide traffic control. Sometimes we provide equipment for more of your integral wrecks that they have, like loaders and stuff like that, to move stuff just to get traffic back open. So, you know, they could be out on a job doing something and all of a sudden, boom, they got to go take care of this, you know, emergency that's unplanned and take care of that. And, you know, we do snow and ice and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I said the snow, I'm supposed to say that's a 4-letter word. So, you know, those are the things that we do. You know, we got, you know, for snow and ice, for example, we have a total of 24 snowplow trucks on the shore. That's all we have. And we don't have any contract help whatsoever coming in to help us routinely when we have a snowstorm. Everything we get are basically leftovers that are sent to us from other parts of the state, but they help us when they get here. So we don't have any local. That's one thing we're trying to improve. Contractors who have dump trucks or front loaders or motor graders on the eastern shore, we want you to come work with us in the snow removal activities because we don't have anybody local. There's nobody here. So everything we get comes to us from other parts of the state. So, we also do land use. Maybe some of y'all have gotten a permit to do something like entrances or improvements or build a new house or something like that, and you have to have an entrance. Well, that comes through our office as well in Accomack. We have 3 employees right now that's what they do. I have a staff engineer that's on board. I have an assistant staff engineer that's on board. They do a lot of planning and everything. And then some inspectors who go out in the field to make sure that things are being done according to what the standards are. But we issue on the shore about 275 to 300 permits per year. So just out of that often. And we do like 50 plan reviews for different things that occur with that. So, but let's talk about things that are going on particular in the areas. All right. So because that's basically VDOT 101 here on the Eastern Shore. So I like to say that we're fortunate enough for the size that we are. We're a very rural, you know, area, low population and all. We actually get a lot of funding that comes our way for transportation projects, believe it or not, including paving schedules when we're repaving roadways and everything. So for the population base that we have here on the shore and all, we do fairly well. Both counties, Accomack and Northampton counties, have done very well in smart scale projects, applying for funding for these projects that will occur up and down, you know, the counties and all. They've been very, very good at getting money awarded for that. So, but we have just currently we're recently completed some projects like our paving project, for example, Plant. You see that on the highway, like up here to Machapunga. We do that every year, and that's based off of inspections that are done on the roadways by all this, you know, technical truck that rolls through and tells us what's bad and everything. But basically this past year we did 64 lane miles of asphalt on the shore, which is great. You know, it's brand new asphalt, nice smooth riding asphalt that we have now. That equates to 44,000 tons of it put in place. Cost us almost $8 million. Okay. Transportation is not a cheap business to be in. And we've seen in recent years our prices really go up. So with the inflation cost and all. So yeah, we put down nearly $8 million worth of asphalt on the Eastern Shore this year. Surface treatment, we see a lot on our back roads and everything. That's the tar and stone, we call it surface treatment. We were able to do $482,000 in funding on that. And this is all extra money. This isn't money coming out of our local budget. This is money that's being given to us just to do these types of projects. And then Cemetery Road, like 602, working with Accomack and Northampton counties for a long time on this project. And we were able to have the project pretty well completed. The only things are a couple of punch list items that are environmental related. I don't know if anybody's been on Cemetery Road there in Belhaven. It's a different road. Even the portion of Northampton, unfortunately, they were not successful in getting a smart scale project awarded for that. But we were able to take some money that Northampton County had accumulated through our Transportation Secondary 6-year plan and apply that and make it one project. So they actually had it's called a pool depth reclamation. They wrote it, it's flattened out. It's not so turtle backed anymore. The downside of that, your speeds can increase sometimes. So we got to keep our eye on the speeds that people are traveling through there, but much nicer roadway, better driving roadway, and another success story on projects. So we're looking out beyond this year now. What's coming up on the horizon? You know, because what's next? Well, I can tell you right now, Y'all ever heard of the Eastern Shore Bike Trail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about that.
I mean, if you haven't, you're gonna sleep somewhere under a rock. Because it's that large of a deal for the state of Virginia. I mean, it's huge. I mean, you jump on a bike down in Cape Charles, and in essence, if it's completed right, it all the way up the hallway, you're looking at 11 segments with Cape Charles sections included in this that they're looking at, because we broke it up into sections so that we could get reasonable funding for each one to build them. What's nice about it, it seems like a lot of the funding is coming together at the same time for these segments. So in essence, it could be that, and I say could be, that's the goal here, is that this thing is just about built, one right after another in succession, and turn around, you got a complete trail built up here. But it's 46 miles long, so reach your goal, jump on it, ride a few times, you'll be there, So, but once it's done, we're also looking at about a $59 million estimate on this entire project. So it's not cheap at all, and we compete against everybody else in the state for the funding. But I will say this, the Eastern Shore Rail Trail Foundation are light years ahead of the other foundations who are asking for funding as well. So they've done their homework. They've worked with us a lot on these things, and they've got a nice package here together. So they're very, very, very competitive for any funding that comes out for a rail to trail project. So we foresee this as being a success story all the way around. So matter of fact, the section that goes from Cape Charles, crosses 13 here, and then goes into Sheridan and Sunnyside Road, that piece, that's out to bid now. So we will see what bids come back. So I mean, in essence, you could start seeing some work being done this spring on starting to build this trail. So, and it will cross right here at the traffic signal, a pedestrian crosswalk will be put there. So anybody on a bike that wants to, cross it, because we know this is a busy area through here, just hit the button like you would if you were walking. So, wait for it to go across, but yeah, and it should be completed by, December of 2026. So, a couple of years from now, but it's done. So let's see where that goes. The other sections are at various stages, which is great. So, and different funding sources, a lot of it's federal money coming in that we're looking at. Then we were able to secure some through some state, grants that they've got for programs and all. So, a lot of money coming in from different directions, but that's how you fund something that's $59 million too. So
I have one question about
Yes.
that. The existing 5 miles on the south end of the bike trail, the trees are so close to the bike trail itself that you get a little bit of wind or a storm, all the branches come down on the bike trail. Also, the trees being so close, the roots grow up underneath the asphalt up, so you end up with all these potholes. Are you aware of that? And are you thinking that we need to clear some of those trees away from the bike trail?
the trail to the south of us is not a VDOT trail.
Okay.
It's actually, Mr. Associate correctly, it's maintained by, I believe. So that's a different burden.
Okay.
We're not involved with that one, except where it crosses our road. So, but yeah, that's one of the byproducts. When you go through the woods, you have to deal with vegetation, roots and everything else. And those kind of things are being, taken in consideration for this trail build. At least this trail doesn't go through the middle of the woods for the most part. So you don't anticipate, I think, I know on 1 o'clock, let's be really quick. Projects in Northampton County through Smart Scale. You might see some tubes down in lower Northampton County at Stingrays, collecting some traffic data right now, because that's a Smart Scale project going through where we're taking all those crossovers through there. And we're going to reconfigure that area to try and make it a little bit safer. It's just too many conflict points through that entire area. It gets a little too confusing. So Northampton County applied for Smart Scale, and they were able to be awarded this, and we're in these design phase right now for this thing. So good stuff there. And recently we applied for Smart Scale funding for an R-cut. Anybody heard of an R-cut before? So we just went to public hearing actually for one up in Northampton or Accomack County, first one in Eastern Florida, Virginia. If you go up into Maryland, like you're going to Ocean City, you'll see them around Snow Hill on the way to Berlin and everything. It does not allow you to cross from one side of the road all the way over to the other side. It takes that potential away. If you are north or southbound on 13, you can make left turns all day long. You cannot make right turn, or you cannot cross over from one side to the other. Curious about it? Go online, Google it, look at the videos on YouTube. There's some excellent videos to show you how those work. But they are big improvements into conflict points, and they reduce the collisions and intersections by up to 50% once they're built. So it's new on the Eastern Shore, so it's a little resistance to these things. Just go ahead and look at the video. But Northampton County is talking about one here, Parsons Circle here at the Y as a potential, because you got Tower Hill building out and everything else. So good stuff there. Let's see, studies. Northampton County has recently asked us to start looking at this particular section here from Kipton Peak School up to the north entrance of Sheridan for some safety improvements. Come off the Bay Bridge, well, you leave Virginia Beach, that's the first time you have to stop coming north right there. And I'm not telling you all anything you don't know. Traffic is coming through here very, very fast anymore. Summertime, it is crazy out here. So we're going to look at this section here on how to possibly improve the safety through here. May involve speed limits, may involve turn lanes, may involve crossovers, all that kind of stuff. And then after we do that, we're going to look at 13 in its entirety again to update the last study that was done, which was back in 2016, which is hard to believe it was that long ago. But we're going to look at it concentrating on median crossovers and right turn lanes. So as improvements in excess management points. So from that study from we did in 2016, we got the rumble strips up and down the shoulders. I'm sure everybody's run over one. Really get your attention. What they're designed to do. I can tell you from the data that we had, we reduced our roadway departure crashes along Route 13 by 30% once they were installed, which is a huge number in traffic safety. So that's what's going on the shore. It's a lot of balls in the air sometimes, but that's what we like, because when we're busy, things are getting done here on the shore. So any questions anybody has while I'm here?
Quick one,
Yes, sir.
because you guys to do with the coming on and off. Royal Farms building a store right here in Cape Charles.
We're reviewing proposals. I'll tell you that. There's a proposal for a commercial property on the other corner of us right here. So we're in that part. Nothing's been approved yet. No permits issued for anything.
Thank you.
Meetings crossing here be gated for the bicycles.
They will not be gated. They will actually be, their pavement will be marked with pedestrian crossings. That will also be there'll be HIDs on the signals, just like you see, like when you go in the city, you push the button, you want to cross the road, you got the hand to stop, and then you got the walk symbol. That's what will be in place. So when they have the ability, they get the green light to go across the roadway, they'll have the walk symbol, traffic on 13 will be stopped at that point. And of course, they have the countdown timers in them too, to tell you if you pedal faster or you're okay. So, or in my case, run. So, yes, sir.
Who else can use it other than
Nothing motorized. Nothing motorized.
no motorized bikes?
No motorized, nothing that's not self, no golf cart. No golf cart, nothing like that. So pedestrians can walk it, they can run it, they can jog it, and you can ride your bicycle on it. So, or your scooter or unicycle or whatever your preference is. So that's. So I know the golf cart thing's been a big thing, but that's that's going to be enforced by the police departments and all that too, from what I'm hearing. It's not our right of way. We're only helping Rail and Trail design this thing and fund it and everything else. Other than that, we won't even maintain it once it's built, to be honest with you. So that's going to be maintained by the Rail Trail Foundation, except for this section here, which will be the town of Cape Charles. They have agreed to maintain this section. Yes, sir.
One last thing on the biking, when you do build the bike trail, there's a lot of grade crossings there. So typically I'll ride up Seaside Road and I just go, no stop signs. Are you gonna put stop signs at each one of those grade crossings that the old railroad tracks ran across?
The preliminary design is that the people on bicycles will have to stop at the road crossing. And they'll be signed. There's a sign plan and everything for it too. I believe there's stop bars put there just as a visual to. But yes, all that will be signed and bicycles will have to stop at each of the road crossings.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm gonna call it a night for Chris, so he can get out of here, because we have to get out of here, but thank you very much, Chris. You trucking them, longer than I should. Get some Christmas cheer in there.
oh, definitely. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Quick, we're gonna draw who's got the high card.